Welcome to Change Around Studio 3. Today we're doing a Viewpoints of Books of Time. Thank you guys for joining us today at Change Around Studio 3. I'm Will.
I'm Melissa.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Jonah.
And I'm Kevin.
And today we're going to talk Books of Time from Board and Dice. After we give you a little bit of an overview of the game, we'll talk about the theme, our favorite parts, our least favorite parts, and we'll talk about strategy, replayability, and we'll give you just a little bit of our 2 cents on this game. Go ahead, Melissa.
Books of Time is for 1 to 4 players and takes about an hour to play. It's designed by Philippe Glowatz and published by Board and Dice. During the game, you manage 3 books: science, industry, and trade. On your turn, you choose an action, like drafting pages to your board, writing pages from your board into your books, activating the open pages in a book, or advancing up a track. In addition to your action, you can also activate an ability from the Shared Chronicle. You're trying to collect certain symbols to achieve endgame objectives and score points on the civilization tracks. You'll have opportunities to gain and spend points throughout the game. After the final round, you score endgame points, and whoever has the most wins.
All right, so with that being said, let's talk theme. Will, give us your 2 cents about the theme of this game.
So when she said science something is something, I was like, oh, I had no idea. Thematically, I have no idea what I'm doing in the game. Componentry, fantastic. Is that another question entirely?
That's not a word, but it's fine.
It's
You
definitely
can talk about
a
in
word.
your favorites thing.
Oh, okay. We'll get back to that in a second. I appreciated the art. I appreciated how your actions made sense, writing and the words that were going into it. But I have no idea what I was actually doing. Am I a historian? Am I writing a book?
You are writing a book, actually multiple books, that have to do with different things in time. So there's the trade, there's the science, there is things in there. I do agree that it's probably a little weaker in theme, but I will say, even thinking about time as an abstract, you are doing things with time. Like Sarah, in the last time we played, you closed your book and reopened it. It's almost like you were sort of going back in time and getting a lot of things.
And then I could do all those actions again.
I felt like a little bit broader that it worked that way. Personally, I don't know.
Now, the rulebook actually does have little entries for most of the people that appear in the science section and the different
Like industry?
industry that is happening. So there's a little write-up like domestication of horses, or this is Marie Curie, those sort of things. So there is a lot in the rule book, but since you didn't read the rule book, you didn't.
But the
get
pictures
any of
are cool. I think it lends itself a little bit to the theme.
Right. I think art-wise, it's great. I think the terms that you use in the game for the things that you're doing make really good sense.
Okay.
I couldn't tell if I was time traveling, if I was
You're not
an
traveling in
author,
time,
if
no.
I was a historian.
More of like an author, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. Sarah, what's your favorite part?
I enjoyed the puzzle of trying to get the pages in my book that I needed at being on the right page at the right time, and timing all of that. I was fortunate to have a hand that I was dealt at the beginning that had a couple of the yellow book, which I believe is the trade.
Yeah.
And so you have to put those in a specific order, and then the market available had just what I needed. So I was able to snag up most of everything I needed for my yellow book and get them in order. And I was the first player, so it worked out great. Everybody else struggled to get the right things the rest of the game. But then I also struggled getting the red and green books that I needed.
I actually liked going up the tracks. That was enjoyable to me. Like, what tracks do I want to go up and focus on those? And that means you're probably focusing on those pages in the book, so they sort of like go together.
Which I think is one of the keys to winning.
Okay.
My strategy.
Go for it, Will.
My favorite thing in the game is it's actually just the kashunk. Kashunk.
Oh, the binders?
Yeah, the tactile experience in this game is great. You have your own actual 3 binders that you're adding books to, you're taking pages out of. I guess you're not taking pages out of. But adding to, trying to get it in the right order, like that componentry, back to it earlier, is a fantastic part of this game. It's really, like, the fiddliness of it is fun in this game. I enjoyed that part. Everything you said, also agree with, but that was a cool part that I didn't anticipate.
Yeah, I think this is the first game that has incorporated this component.
A two-ring binder. My favorite part is Twofold. Okay, so I love if the game's going to give me the card, the player aid with the iconography on one side, I'm already more happy to play, right? And then if we've got in-game goals,
Yep.
that's 2 for 2,
yep.
right? But here's what I really liked about those in-game goals: they're tough to achieve, and I like that. Like getting in-game goals. If I get 2 or 3 of them, like that's probably going to be the difference, and they're tough to get.
Right,
So
just unlucky to get
so
to that
we're
next
working
one.
toward it. Everyone's working toward it. But if you can get them, it's like, oh, I've got a real chance to win this one. So I like that.
So my favorite part kind of is similar to Sarah's. I like puzzly type games where you're having to think through what do I need to do, what's going to be my most efficient action, and you have 6 actions you can select from. So it's like, oh, do I need to get pages now? Oh, maybe I need to write pages. Oh, but I need the resources to be able to write them. Or, oh, I want to activate a page, and then after I activate it, it flips, so now I have new stuff. Oh, I don't like this page, but I like the next page. Maybe I should take the action where I just turn the pages. So there's a lot of thinking through the different things that you could do on your turn, and then settling on one, hopefully without taking too much time thinking about it.
Okay, Sarah, tell us your least favorite part of the game.
My least favorite thing is actually the disconnect with the art. I love the cover. I love the illustration on the cover. These colors are not found in the game.
Other than maybe the art on the cards.
The art on the actual pages probably matches.
Yeah.
But the books are red, yellow, and green.
And the tracks are red, yellow, and green.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
Dislike those colors. So you're already putting red and green together. Colorblind people are having to look at the symbols, which you are looking at the symbols anyway to gain the cards, but you could have picked better colors for those 3. The player colors were interesting. They were just
like the purple,
other,
it was like
they were other
purple and
random
yellow,
colors.
yeah.
I felt like they could have made it feel more like tones of time or some like more interesting besides red, green, yellow.
She wanted brown.
I wanted to, well, you could have, like, on here, there's like a maroon would be nice, or some richer colors for
like
the
a dark
pages.
purple.
Yeah, sure. A leather green would have been better than bright green.
My least
mine.
favorite part of the game is actually the player counts. I feel like it plays really good at like 2 and 3. And I haven't played 1 player, so we don't really talk about the 1 player experience. But 2 and 3 feels like it works really well. 4 player, it might be just too tight of a game. Like I want to, like Melissa was saying earlier, I want to do these certain things, or I need this certain color book. I was watching your 4-player game, I'm like, if I was playing, I might not be able to get the color I need for that book, and that might be my whole strategy. I feel like I would feel defeated in that moment. I feel like that was just one of the things I would probably find least favorite about the game.
I've only played it at 4 players, second time this afternoon, and it is tight for sure. I think my least favorite part of it was when you get down to the last 3 pages, so you've got the little warning that tells you, hey, this is it, you gotta make it happen here.
Yeah.
When I look at that, I'm like, there's a disappointment in knowing, like, shoot, I screwed up 2 turns because now I'm not going to be able to do the 3 things that I need to do. And I've really, actually, I've experienced that in other games too, and I don't love it when you get down to the last 3 turns and there's, like, frustration over, like, I almost just wish I didn't know how many pages. I think that would actually be fine. Pick a random number between 10 and 15 or something like that, and then it just ends when you get to that last page. Because there's, like, so much mental gymnastics that slows the whole game down because you're trying to optimize, and then it's frustrating when you realize, like, shoot, I need 1 more turn to do something amazing, and that's a killer for me at the end of the game.
I really do like this game, so I'm like, what's my least
I
favorite?
agree. This has been a really great
What's
game.
my least favorite? I would say one of the aspects that I actually like is the chronicle, the shared book.
On the lectern?
On the
This
lectern.
is the adult-like part, Melissa.
But one thing that I don't like about it is the first player doesn't have a lot of time to plan that into their turn.
Unless you do what I did and I sneaked
peek,
peeked
yeah.
at it so that I could at least
Peeked at
not
page.
Yeah.
slow things down.
Right. So it's a random
Sarah's going
element.
future into
Yeah,
time.
I was.
It's a random element, which is really fun, and I like it, but if you're that first player, you don't have as much time to absorb that random
I'm
element.
debating if I like that random element or not. It's interesting to me. You're like, oh,
I liked it.
you did like the random element? Because when I played, I was like, it worked out really well because like one of them was like go up a track near the end of the game, but it's like, what if I didn't have that?
Yet sometimes you can't make use of it because you don't have the right resources or you're not set up
It's
to do
also
it.
just a bonus extra thing.
It is. It is.
So
an extra
it is
thing.
nice.
Yeah,
That was
It
my
has-
favorite part. Like,
yeah,
go ahead.
it's something you can do in addition to your turn.
Right,
So
the
you get your normal
frustrations
turn.
in that case when I couldn't do it was like, oh, unlucky me. Shucks,
You
I
don't
wish
have
I had
two.
2 yellows. Yeah, whatever.
But usually the other, because you can have a choice of
Right.
2, so usually the other page is a little bit easier. Is that what you said? You didn't say?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, it could be frustrating that you couldn't do one of them. Usually the other one maybe wasn't as good, but at least you got it.
To do something.
It didn't bother me. That frustration was good. I was like,
Okay.
And it felt great when I was like, 2 yellows over here. Nobody else got it. Like, there's a lot of fun in that part of it.
All right, least
What's your
favorite.
least favorite?
Really, I really like this game. So I don't have a patented like this. I didn't like this part. I would say after playing it a few times now, I want an exchange on the resources. Sometimes you get a bunch
I did
of
think of
pens
that. Okay, I
or
gotcha.
a bunch of paper, and I wish there was a 2-for-1
Or a
going on in
3-for-1
the
or
game,
something.
something
Yeah.
going on in the game.
Okay.
But again, that is like so low on the list of things because I really do enjoy this game.
I would almost bet if you watch our favorite games of June or May or whichever one this ends up in, this is in there. We've all had a great time
This is
with
probably
it.
one of my favorite games I've played this year so far.
Yeah, it's a good game.
So.
All right, folks. Let's talk
Last question?
strategy about the game. Do we have enough depth in strategy, in the actions? Do we have replayability? What are our parting thoughts on this guy?
Replayability is high. The fact that those cards play so differently depending on what actions you get, the fact that the book at the beginning does give you those...
And you're not putting all the cards in the book, on
Right.
the Chronicles. You're only picking, like, I think,
You
15
and take out 8 of them. So, yeah, each
On
game's
the-
going to feel
the-
a little different just in the lectern.
Yeah, I feel like the
Chronicle.
replayability, the fact that you have so many different goal types of things that you can try to achieve and trying to figure out how to optimize those, yes, I'm playing this a bunch of times.
Yeah, I had never closed a book, and then I saw Sarah do it, and she got a ton of things, and I was like, oh, I need to try that strategy next time, maybe. So,
Well-
so kind of trying new things as you keep playing it.
Because I went so hard and deep on the yellow book, I had
bunch
I don't
of
know.
pages?
I had to do the actions on the pages
Sure.
to get to the right section to put the page in the right
Ah,
spot.
gotcha.
Because it was you had to have them in a
There's
certain order
for yellow. Not
Yeah,
all the
so
books are like that.
Then I realized I haven't even touched the green book at all. Like
Okay.
not at all.
Okay.
So, if I close the yellow book, I'm going to get all these resources from every single page I've already done. That's more than even any of the other actions I could take. So
Yeah.
it made sense.
One of the things that I really liked about it, one of the reasons I'll be going back, is because on your turn, on each individual person's turn, it's not actually a long turn process. It is turn-based, it's not simultaneous, but you're not actually waiting that long, just really because it's one action and do what's on the lectern, on the chronicle. And if as long as you're not going first, if you've seen 1 or 2 or 3 people already do it, you know what action you're gonna do from the chronicle, and now it's just about what am I going to do? And again, once you get past the first 1 or 2 turns, it's very clear what you need to do. It's not like you're writing any pages into your book when you don't have any. Like you're drawing pages. We know, you know what I mean? You know what you're doing. Your turns can go by really quick. And for me, that makes this game really fun.
I agree with all that you.
I feel like I need to explore more moving the tracks versus taking lots of actions in the books.
Yeah, I do definitely have ideas for
Yeah,
strategies.
so next
that I
time I'm
wanna
like,
try.
this track gives me a bonus on this other track if I had gone up that one first. Like, there's, yeah.
Or certain pages you're like, I really want that action in the future. If I see that in the offer,
Yes.
I'm taking that page. I don't care what symbol's on it, but I like that action.
Lots of different options to go. Lots of different ways to play. If you're interested in Books of Time, check it out from Board and Dice. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, we'd love to know your feedback. So if you've played it, if you have thoughts, if you have ideas about strategies that might work, we want to know them. See you guys in the next video. Thanks.
The chessboard.
When's it available?
In the,
Yeah, I like the pattern.
It's for pre-order right now.
Okay.
I think early June. is when
Yeah.
they're saying it's supposed to be out.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's... Sorry.
Put that down.
Oh, my fault.
And I'm dancing over here. It was going to be great.